Breaking. Kentucky is overtaxing people who live in this state and do this. Essentially, a big old Kentucky middle finger to all the Dems and libtards out there sucking on old FJB's ding dong. And now, because of it, 99% of all these wildcats who live here and don't want to feel like they're getting prison will consider their options and move. Leave Kentucky altogether and go somewhere else. Go somewhere better. But as a bit of a disclaimer and full disclosure, let's just be honest here, folks. There could be a number of reasons why all these people are packing it all up and hightailing it out of Kentucky, moving to another state that's going to be more in line with their personal and financial goals. And this definitely is not the only reason why people may choose to ditch the bluegrass state for greener pastures, but it's certainly a big one because they just started taxing folks more money, and this added tax is unlike many other states, and it started on Monday, January 1. So Happy New Year, folks. You got to pay more money if you want to live here. Hey, everyone, it's Kevin. Please smash the like button and subscribe. And tell me, 1, do you live in Kentucky? And 2, do you own or plan on owning an electric vehicle? A battery-powered EV like a Tesla or an Ioniq 5 anytime soon. So as of January 1st, Kentucky has implemented not 1, but 2 new taxes on electric vehicles, both of which are individually higher than what gas vehicles pay on similar units of energy. And now, Kentucky has officially joined the trend of overtaxing EVs and letting gas cars get off without paying their fair share for the damage that they cause to the roads and to your lungs. But it has gone beyond most other states and is now implementing 2 new taxes on EVs at the same time while keeping gas taxes artificially low compared to the damage that gasoline causes. All right, so get this. First, Kentucky EVs will have to pay an additional $120 registration fee every single year, over and above the normal registration fees for all other vehicles. But Kentucky isn't the first state to implement such a dumbass fee, with similar punitive taxes existing in a majority of U.S. states at this point. But overall, in summary, the ongoing discourse surrounding the taxation of electric vehicles, EVs, in Kentucky, several key issues have emerged, highlighting the state's problematic approach towards EV taxation and its broader implications. So let's go ahead and dive into these issues, attempt to analyze the rationale behind the government and their tax policies, their impact on the people living in Kentucky or Kentuckians, and the paradoxical nature of these policies in the context of Kentucky's economic and environmental landscape, because we know it's always about the money. So number 1 on the list, the problems with the unfair and disproportionate taxation of electric vehicles. Kentucky's taxation system for EVs has been a subject of criticism due to its disproportionate nature. While the state's fee for EVs is lower than in some other states, it remains significantly higher compared to similarly efficient gasoline vehicles. But to be fair, Biden never said that the Green New Deal would be cheaper or save American taxpayers any money. Got to be able to pay off China and launder money to the Ukraine somehow, right? So a theoretical 140 mpg gas car or 140 miles per gallon gas car, for instance, would pay around $30 in gas taxes per year for 15,000 miles driven. Whereas an EV with a 140 mpge rating is taxed at $120 annually, irrespective of mileage. Now, this flat tax structure not only penalizes EV owners, but also serves as a disincentive for low mileage driving, which is counterproductive to efforts aimed at reducing congestion and optimizing road usage. Problem number 2, the grid, and specifically the additional burdens on public EV charging stations. In a move that further compounds the financial strain on EV users, Kentucky has implemented an additional tax on public EV charging stations, and these stations are required to pay an extra 3 cents per kilowatt hour of electricity distributed, with an increased rate for stations located on state property. When compared to the average electricity rates in Kentucky, this surcharge represents a substantial increase amounting to a 23% or up to 46% tax on electricity. This tax is notably higher than the approximately 11% tax collected on gasoline in the same state. Issue number 3, The inequitable impact on different demographics. The new tax regime disproportionately affects certain demographics, particularly commuters and apartment dwellers who rely more on public charging. And so now allow me to introduce you to yet another opponent that we all must face in this great wealth transfer, widening the gap in the Great Reset that's already happening. So basically, this creates a financial disparity between renters and homeowners, with the former being a larger tax burden. Additionally, businesses that previously offered free charging as an incentive might be deterred from continuing this practice due to the increased costs. Next, number 4 on Kentucky's shit list, multiple taxation layers. And this means that EV drivers in Kentucky may also face a cumulative tax burden, with the state imposing a 6% tax on utility services, although primary residences are exempt. Now, this layered taxation system further complicates the financial implications for EV users. 5, and as we move on to number 5, if you appreciate the helpful information, quick, short, right to the point videos loaded with value, please show your love and smash that like button. I really do appreciate it. Now let's talk questionable tax rationale. And essentially what they want us to believe is that the justification for these taxes, influenced by fossil fuel industry propaganda, is predicated on the mistaken belief that EVs do not contribute to road maintenance costs. However, this perspective overlooks the fact that most road damage is caused by heavy vehicles, not passenger cars. Additionally, the gas tax, which covers less than a third of Kentucky's road costs, suggests that gasoline vehicles also do not proportionately contribute to road maintenance either. And if you believe the load of crap that they're shoveling down your throat, feeding you and expecting you to choke it down and eat it up, well, then I got a bridge in Louisville that I want to sell you. But Kentucky's stance on EV taxation is indeed paradoxical, given its claim as a prime location for EV manufacturing and its status as a major coal producer. By disincentivizing EVs, the state contradicts its own interest in promoting cleaner energy sources and supporting its coal industry, which benefits from electricity generation for EV charging, ironically. Furthermore, the negative health impacts associated with air pollution from gasoline vehicles should, in theory, underscore the need for a shift towards cleaner transportation options, right? But with regard to number 7, alternative tax solutions, I don't know about you guys, but I am extremely tired of always being taxed. But essentially, you got to roll with the punches, right? However stuck we are, there needs to be a push for a more equitable tax system that considers vehicle mileage and weight, along with pollution pricing. Now, this approach would more accurately reflect the actual road usage and the environmental impact of different vehicles, offering a fairer and more effective solution than the current tax policies, in my opinion. But what do you guys think? And to wrap it all up, it is undeniably easy and clear to see how Kentucky's approach to EV taxation is marked by a series of misguided and disproportionate policies that not only hinder the adoption of cleaner transportation options, but also fail to align with the state's economic and environmental interests. A complete reevaluation of these policies with a focus on equitable and environmentally responsible taxation is crucial for the state's sustainable development and public health. So take this as a warning to everyone of just how bad and awful this EV, car, and truck and SUV push is going to end up being for everybody. Because it's not just Kentucky. If we have learned anything over the years through history, and all it takes is a little bit of time, more states will fall in line and begin gouging Prius owners and Chevy Volt, Rivian R1T, and Lucid Air drivers alike. Well, that is, of course, if you live in a blue state like Kentucky. Sorry, y'all.
I can tell you my problems, meditating my silence. But I keep pushing my pen, rotating my stylus. Brokenness feeling like sin, now no breath, low dollar. Used to be left on red, now all the girls go holler. Now all the girls go follow. All the fake fans go pop.